Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, time to do a movie review. Yes, I did see the new version of Black Christmas 2019, and let's say I have a lot to say about it, so let's get started with my review of Black Christmas 2019. Now, Black Christmas 2019 is a 2019 slasher horror film. It was directed by Sophia Takal. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She also wrote this along with April Wolf. Now, this stars Imogene Potts, Elise Shannon, I think it's Khalib Imblehart, and Carrie Ells. Yeah, good old Carrie Ells from Saw, yes. I've heard a lot of conversations about this film prior to me seeing it. Now, one of the practices I've had since I started my YouTube channel is that I do not watch anyone else's reviews before I do mine, so that way I have a more direct approach. I'm using my words. This is what I thought, so I'm not taking anyone else's words on what they've said about the movie. Now, like I said, I just saw some of what some of the people were saying, but I didn't really look to see because I wanted to see the movie myself. And I've seen it. I just saw it this morning, and yeah, I do have a lot to say about this movie. So let's get started. Now, we have sorority sisters Riley and Chris. Now, while staying on campus during their Christmas break, they find themselves stalked by some masked stranger. Now, while trying to find out who the stalker is, they soon discover that this is part of an underground college conspiracy that threatens their very lives. Yes, that's kind of what this movie is about, but there's more involved in it. Now, like everyone else said, I didn't believe that we needed another remake of the '74 classic slasher. It's not like the 2006 remake was a box office smash. It only made $21 million out of a $9 million budget, so it made some money. It broke the whatchamacallit, but not necessarily to call it a box office hit. And also, critics bashed the film, and horror fans felt that the film was an insult to the '74 original. Now, I myself, I really had no problem with the 26 remake. I mean, it does have its moments, but for some reason, Jason Blum of Blumhouse Productions thought it was necessary to remake it again. Don't know why, but he just felt, hey, look, I want to do Black Christmas again, and this is what we get. So for this version, this was directed by Sophia Takal and was written by her and April Wolf. Now, while the ladies have the same type of setting from the '74 and 2006 version, they've taken this story to a whole different direction. You'll learn more as I go on. Now, the story does take place in sorority. We are introduced to Riley Stone. She is a student who is struggling after being sexually assaulted by the president of a fraternity, and unfortunately no one believed her other than her sorority sisters. Now, while Riley and her best friend and sorority sister Chris are getting ready to leave for the Christmas break, several of their sisters are being killed by a masked stranger. We don't know who this stranger is. Riley, Chris, and the rest of the sorority sisters now have to fight for their lives and also find out who wants them dead. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. I can go with that. Now, I will give Taka and Wolf credit for coming up with a completely different story than what we got with the 26,000 remake. God forbid we didn't need another rehash of Billy and his shenanigans, but with this story, well, I'm going to have to go on a little what I call a discussion and a mini rant. Now, I absolutely have no problems with women's empowerment or strong women in films. I have no problem with the Me Too movement. As pretty sure you saw in the news, I thought it was poetic justice to see Harvey Weinstein going into court in a walker. That's the punishment he deserves. He deserves more punishment than that, but that's the punishment he deserves for the crap that he's done throughout his whole entire career. Now, I've always enjoyed seeing women kick some ass in movies, especially in horror movies. Now, of course, why do most horror fans love Amy Steele from the Friday the 13th Part 2? The reason why is because she's not the typical damsel in distress cliche, and she used her wits and her intelligence to fool Jason. That's why we love her. That's why most people consider her one of the better final girls or one of the top final girls in horror. Also, all the ladies in the Descent movie are strong women who held their own against the creatures. Those are the type of women I like to see in the horror pictures. I have no problem with seeing strong women kick some ass in horror pictures. Now, in this movie, it seems that the Call and Wolf are more interested in getting their message about women's empowerment other than making a horror movie. It seems that the whole message is the Me Too movement and men bashing and women's empowerment. I mean, nothing really happens during the first half of the movie other than some male bashing. There's no character development. There's no suspense. There's no tension. I mean, absolutely nothing happens. Now, I'm pretty sure the audience will feel sorry for what happened to Riley because I do too, but the film does nothing else to make you care for what's happening to the girls. It's just bang, 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 women empowerment, women, 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 and all men are pigs. Now, I'm sure everyone knows about the college campus culture and how some fraternities are misogynistic, especially when it comes to dating. Now, any man that believes that they're above women and they have to do some of the stuff that they do in order to get a woman to sleep with them, whether they had to get them completely drunk or slip rupees in their drinks and take advantage of them, they deserve to have their balls cut off. I can be no straighter than that. They deserve to be punished and mutilated. And that's why I'm saying, just like with Harvey Weinstein, he should rot in hell for some of the stuff that he's done. He should have his balls smashed or his scrotum cut off or anything else deplorable needs to happen to him. Now, I don't have a problem when women directors or writers want to make a movie about women empowerment. However, this is supposed to be a horror movie, not a documentary. This movie felt more like an episode of Law and Order SVU than an actual horror movie itself. Now, as far as for Imogene Potts and the rest of the cast, they come off a bit flat, mainly due to the script. Now, while I do like the chemistry between Potts and Elise Shannon, who plays Chris, the rest of the characters or cast simply are just going through the motions. We see the cliche nice guy in Landing. He's a nice guy. He's not really into some of the crap that some of the fraternity is into. We see a lot of dumb things we see in other horror movies and other cliche characters. Even the so-called reason we're given and why the girls are being killed, it's just dumbed and cliched. Could have come up with something way better than this. So instead of a horror movie, we get this message on women empowerment and the Me Too movement, and actually has some horror elements in it. So like I said before, this is not really a horror movie. It's more like all right, we're going to talk about women's empowerment. We're going to talk about the Me Too movement. We're going to do some male bashing, and we'll have some horror elements into it. Now, I don't know if the ladies who wrote this film, if that's the message they were trying to get out, and they couldn't find any other way other than to put this in a horror movie. I don't. It's like this. If you really want to get your message out, try to do it in a way where you don't have to hide it in a horror movie. Now, I don't know if that's what you were pitching and no one gave you the chance, and this is the best way you're going to do it is hide in a horror movie. It's not going to work. Now, it's not only going to upset us, people who love horror and want to see a horror movie, it's going to make your message seem trivial. I mean, if you're going to do it where the story is good. Great example is All Cheerleaders Must Die. That was a good story. Probably not the best movie per se because it was low budget, but at least the story was good. I like that. The characters were very interesting. I like the fact that the characters were interesting. Here, the characters are not interesting. That's another reason why Charlie's Angels fell, because no one really cared about the character. It was all about women empowerment and male bashing. It has to be a good story in order for that to not take the women empowerment or the Me Too movement not I guess you not take full stage of the story. It's more this movie was more about that than the actual horror itself. And that's the reason why this movie will fail. I mean, like I said, there's no suspense. We have fake jump scares. There's no tension. The performances are flat, and we have cliche characters. You two women, unfortunately, spent too much time worrying about getting your message across instead of creating a good horror story. Like I said, I don't have a problem doing that if that's what you want to do, but at least make the story interesting enough so that way we're not confronted with all the Me Too movement and the woman empowerment and the male bashing that you put in this movie. So, the Horror Miser is going to open up his vote. And I'm going to give Black Christmas 2019 one of my 5 gold coins. I'm only going to give one out of my 5 gold coins. Like I said, as a horror movie, this is terrible. Like I said, no suspense, no tension, fake jump scares, flat performances, and cliche characters, and people making dumb decisions. That's how I'm rating this as a horror movie. I feel sorry for the 2 ladies that made this picture. I'm pretty sure they had good intentions, but unfortunately, your message dominates the movie more than the horror itself. And for that, you only get 1 out of my 5 gold coins. And so that's my video for the day, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a like. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you have any comments in the comment section, tell me what you thought about Black Christmas 2019. Did you think that there was too much male bashing, too much women empowerment, too much of the Me Too movement? Or if you actually did enjoy it, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, all my social media links will be in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Haha, Jigsaw, take us home. We're out.
Greetings and welcome. I want to play a game.